So it turns out I have lupus. Now, if you've been watching my lives for some time, you would have seen me mention lots of little things happening, odds and ends that on their own don't normally mean very much. But as it turns out, all those things added up to actually be signs of lupus. Now, I didn't know very much about lupus before, and the things I thought I knew about it turns out to not be correct. Things such as the type of person that gets lupus, the age group, what lupus actually is. But let's just say all the things that I've had wrong with me recently on their own or with a couple of things added together doesn't necessarily mean you have lupus. But the funny thing was that there are 10 things that if you have them, then it does signify lupus, and it means you have lupus to a high degree. Now, it turns out as well, there are actually a list of 30 things that are chronic lupus, and I have all 30. Yes, and I won't run through them all right now because this isn't a medical tutorial. If you are interested to know more, then of course I will connect with you. But the point is, it is rare to have all 10 of the main listed things, but I have the full list of 30 and I have mentioned most of these things. So what does it mean for me? Well, 100% I'm not entirely sure how it will change my life completely, but there will be some major changes that I've already implemented. Now, as I say, I'm not going through every single thing because I don't want you to sit there and say, oh, I think I have lupus. But the main category for me was the SLE, which is my main issue of my kidney problems, and I now have to have enzymes 3 times a day in order to actually be able to eat, but I'm still unable to eat 99% of foods even with the enzymes. So that is one big difference, and it's not one of these things where you could say, oh, I have a cheat day. That's going to cause me major problems. And I have also been told that I am very high risk of having to go on dialysis for my kidneys if I even say, oh, let's have a cheat day. So it's something I've got to bear in mind. I've been told to go straight in if I suffer from any further kidney problems more than I already am experiencing. So I know I have to do a whole, I say diet, there's barely anything I can actually eat, even with the enzymes. So there's that. I have to do more rest, which, as you know, is a very difficult thing for me because with my brain damage and my coma issues, the problem is if I rest, it takes me a good few hours to get up and get going again. So that's very difficult, but I'm changing my lifestyle, let's say, so I have more restful activities rather than being on the go all the time. I am still going to grow my stuff because Mike said, what's the point now of you growing all the food? I enjoy doing it. It will be, I say, more relaxed. I've got a whole lot of stuff. Luckily, before Christmas, I started seeding, and there's a lot of stuff which you will see the videos of. I have got videos still sitting in the pot of walks. There's quite a few more of those that I did last year that I obviously don't want to post all my walks at once, so you'll see walks. So don't think, oh, there's Dawn going for a nice walk again. I've got a lovely spring one that obviously I'm going to keep for spring, that was done last spring. As I said, I didn't want to put them all out back to back, and I was walking a lot. But yeah, there are different types of lupus, let me say that as well. And as I say, you don't need all of the things to have lupus, but I have it, a chronic version of lupus. I don't really know what else to say, because I don't want to be too down, but I am talking real. As I say, it does entail lots more issues. How much I'll be doing YouTube now, I don't know. And please don't use the expression that people use a lot for me, oh, you look well. Because obviously I've already got major issues prior to having lupus, and I have to keep this sunny disposition or there is no point. So I don't know, as I say, quite what my life's going to entail, apart from major changes and maybe restructure of what I do and don't do. Although there are groups of people who suffer from lupus, as I say, it affects different people in different ways, and you have different symptoms and so on and so forth. I know a lot of people take to their bed and don't get up and all that, if that's what works for them. But for me, as I say, I cannot, when I feel like that, I cannot do that. That's because I have other issues as well, as I've mentioned. So I just really want to let you know what's going on. So if I don't appear, as I say, I've got some pre-edited videos that are for times when I wasn't going to be well prior to this anyway. I have some always in the bag. So don't assume, unless they're dated like the growing ones, then don't assume they were from now. Yeah, I don't really know what else to tell you right now. As I say, it's really new to me right now. It can't be any worse than what I've already got, let's put it that way. So it's just another addition. The good side of it is the fact that it explains all these things that suddenly started happening to me. I do put a lot of things down to my brain damage, because I know my brain actually shuts parts of my body down and suddenly malfunctions parts of my body in different ways, internally and externally. So I put it down to that, and so did my doctor, and she said, you know yourself more than I do. So that's why we weren't going on the route of lupus. But she did say about, I think my last talk with you was about when she said, right, you've got to cut out literally everything, mustn't have any protein food, which is 99% of foods, and many other things. So I think she was kind of going down that route then anyway, but being a GP, she cannot diagnose lupus herself. But in hindsight, she was basically suspecting lupus all along, I think. So, but as she said, you know yourself better than me. So I'm thinking now, had I not had the brain damage, medical problems and the issues that causes, I think we would have gone straight for lupus from day one. So yeah, as I say, don't know really what else to share with you. I just wanted to get out there right now. You know everything as soon as I know everything, as far as I can. And let's finish with some nice footage. I can hear the goats coming. Let's show you the goats. And thanks for all your kind messages in advance.